These are topic tests so that are designed to help you evaluate your preparation for each topic. Once you do a basic review of the concepts and have done practice, it is advisable that you take these tests topic wise. Once you've taken the test, watch this video to understand what could have been a good attempt in the test. And more than 200 such topic tests are available on our Android app. To download the Bodhee Prep Android app, the link for which is in the description below. This specific video is about the topic time and work, and the test which we want to discuss today is test number 5 on this topic. Overall, the test was probably easy to moderate. Easily 7 questions could have been attempted, and the attempt time would also not be very high. 18 to 21 minutes would be good enough to go through all the 10 questions, and from there try to get about a net 7 questions correct, which will give you a 95+% time. Looking at the questions, Ashish, Vinay, and Joseph can do work in 20, 30, 40 days respectively. The three started the job together. Ashish left 4 days before it was completed. Vinay left 3 days before it was completed. So if the work took X days to complete, Ashish worked for 4 days less than this. So X minus 4. Vinay worked for 3 days less than this. Therefore X minus 3. And the third person, Joseph, kept on working for the entire time. So X days. Now assuming that LCM of 20, 30, 40, 120. Suppose the work was of 120 units. We can say that Ashish does 120 in 20 days, so 6 units per day. Binay does 120 units in 30 days, therefore 4 units per day. Joseph does 120 units in 40 days, therefore 3 units per day. Now the work done by Ashish, because Ashish left 4 days before it was completed, will be 6 into x minus 4. Work done by Binay. Binay worked for x minus 3 days, does 4 units per day. So 4 into x minus 3. Joseph worked till the end, so worked for x days, does 3 units per day, therefore 3x. This should be equal to 120. So 6x minus 24 plus 4x minus 12 plus 3x is 120. 6, 10, 3. 13x is equal to 120 minus 36, or 13x is equal to 84. Plus 36, not minus 36. 156. Now it makes sense. And therefore x is equal to 156 by 13. So the value of x will come out to 12. Hence the answer becomes 12. So in how many days was the job completed? The job took 12 days to complete, where Ashish worked for 8 days, Vinay worked for 9, and Joseph for 12 full days. Again, easy to moderate level of difficulty. If you don't make a mistake like I did, easy, otherwise it can be moderate. But in any case, solving time should not exceed somewhere around 2 minutes. M worker started a job at the end of the ith day of the job where I lies between 1 and M. The ith worker left the job. So, end of day 1, the first worker. Day 1, so first worker leaves the job. End of day 2, the second worker also leaves the job. End of day 3, third worker leaves the job, and so on. The job is completed when mth worker left. So, for M days, this continued. If ith worker can do 1 unit of work per day, so the first worker can do 1 unit of work per day, the second worker can do 2 units of work per day, and so on. And the job to be done was equal to 204 units of work, find M. So what we can do is, if you look at each day, day 1, day 2, day 3, and see how the workers are working for these given days up to day M. Now, the first worker here, or the first worker, will work only for day 1 and leave at the end of day 1, and will do 1 unit of work. The second worker will leave at the end of day 2 and will do 2 units of work each day. The third worker will leave at the end of day 3 and do 3 units of work each day, and so on till the mth worker, who will work till the mth day and do m units of work each day. What is the total work done? 1 comes once, so 1 plus 2 comes twice, so 2 into 2, 2 square. 3 comes thrice, therefore 3 into 3, 3 square. M comes m times, therefore m into m, m square. And therefore, the total work will be nothing but 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square up till m square. This is given as 204. The sum of the first m natural numbers will be m into m plus 1 into 2m plus 1 by 6. This should be 204. We can choose from the values and check, because this number will be somewhere around 7, 8. If we check for 7, 7 into 8 into 15 by 6, 3 5s are, 3 2s are, 2 4s are. 5 4s are 20 and 140. So m is not 7. If we check for 8, 8 into 9 into 9, 19, 8, 8, sorry, 8, 8 plus 1, 9, 8 to 6, 17 upon 6. So 3 3s are, 3 2s are, 2 4s are, 17 3s are 51 into 4 is 204. And therefore, the value of m is 8. From the options, putting the value and checking. This question, I'd say, is moderate to difficult level. Understanding the question might take a bit of time. Once we hit or understand the concept, then it is merely putting the value and solving. But uh, getting to the logic might be a challenge here. In an empty tank of height h, there are two pipes A and B attached at a height of h by 2 from the bottom tank. Height h at a height h by 2, there are two pipes attached A and B. If instead both pipes are attached at the bottom of the tank, then A would fill an empty tank in 4 hours, B would empty the full tank in 12 hours. Suppose the tank is of 12 liters. This means pipe A fills 12 hours in 4 liters, therefore 3 liters per hour. Pipe B empties 12 liters in 12 hours, therefore 1 liter per hour. If both taps are open simultaneously, then how much time will the empty tank get filled? Now, when the pipes are at the height of h by 2, A will start working immediately when the tank is empty, but B will start working only when the water level reaches here. So, first pipe A starts, because pipe A fills the entire tank in 4 hours. So, pipe A fills h by 2 or half tank in 2 hours. After this, 6 liters of water is remaining. So tank left to be filled is half the tank, which is 6 liters. And at this point, A will put in 3 liters of water. B will take out 1 liter of water. And therefore, effectively, only 3 minus 1, 2 liters of water will get filled. So to fill this 6 liters, we will need 6 by 2, which is 3 hours. So for the first 2 hours, A is working alone, and then for 3 hours, A and B are working to fill the entire tank. So the time taken to fill the tank will be 5 hours. Again, moderate level of difficulty. Understanding that the emptying pipe will work only when there is water. Once that happens, the question follows from there. Maybe 2.5 minutes to solve the question. A tank is fitted with two taps A and B. The tank can be filled by opening A for 2 hours and B for 9 hours. A for 2 hours and B for 9 hours. Alternatively by opening A for 3 hours and B for 6 hours. If the tank has to be filled using only A, how many hours will it take? Now, if A fills A liters per hour and B fills B liters per hour, we can say that the tank can be filled by opening A for 2 hours, B for 9 hours. So we can say the capacity of the tank will be 2 into A. In 2 hours, A will fill 2A liters, and 9 into B. Also, it can be filled by opening A for 3 hours, 3A, and B for 6 hours. So the capacity of the tank can be written as 2A plus 9B, because this is the water that A fills in 2 hours, this is the water that B fills in 9 hours, or 3A plus 6B. We are talking of the same tank, so the capacity has to be same. So these two have to be equal. From here, we'll get 3B is equal to A. 3B is equal to A. So we can say that capacity of the tank is equal to 2A plus 9B. A is equal to 3 times of B. Therefore, 3 to the 6 plus 9. 15B is the capacity of the tank. Time taken to fill the tank by A alone will be capacity of the tank upon efficiency of A. A again we know is 3B, and therefore 15 by 3 or 5 hours is the time that A alone will take to fill the tank. Level of question probably moderate. You just have to get the equation going. Once you get the ratio, the answer kind of comes from there. 1.5 to 2 minutes to attempt the question. If two pipes P and Q, which can empty a full tank in 20 minutes and 80 minutes, respectively, and a pipe R, which can fill the empty tank in 40 minutes, are all open simultaneously, how many minutes will it take for the tank to be emptied? And so enter answer decimal value round off to 2 decimal places. Let the capacity of the tank be 80 liters. P, two pipes can empty. P can empty 80 liters in 20 minutes, therefore minus 4 liters per minute. Q can empty 80 liters in 80 minutes, therefore minus 1 liter per minute. R can fill 80 liters in 40 minutes, therefore 2 liters per minute. If all are open simultaneously, how long will it take for the full tank to be emptied? If P, Q, R, all of them are working together, the net efficiency will be minus 4 minus 1 plus 2, which is minus 5 plus 2, or minus 3 liters per minute. And therefore, to empty the tank, time taken will be capacity upon efficiency, 80 by 3. So this becomes 26, 70, 26 2 by 3, or 26.67, rounded off to 2 places of decimal in minutes. This becomes the answer. Again, I think in terms of level of difficulty, this would be an easy question. Straightforward applications of the most basic concept of unequal efficiency should not take about more than 90 seconds to solve. Rani and Lakshman type 10 identical books in 25 and 20 days respectively. If Rani and Lakshmi Veena together undertake the work of typing 10 books for a sum of 60,000 and complete the work in 10 days, Veena's share will be. Now, if we look at Rani, because Rani does the work in 25 days, in 10 days, Rani will do 10 upon 25 of the work, which will be 2 by 5, 2/5 of the work. If we look at Lakshmi in 20 does the work in 20 days, so in 10 days we'll do 10 by 20 divided by which is 1 by 2 of the work. And therefore, if you look at Veena's share of the work will be 1 minus 1 by 2 minus 2 by 5, which becomes 10 minus 5 minus 9, 4. So 1 by 10. So Veena has done 1/10 of the work. She will get 1/10 of the money, which will be 600 rupees. Wages based basic question, easy to moderate. As you can see, about 90 seconds to solve. If this method is not something that you're comfortable with, we can also work with taking the total amount of work. Let the total amount of work to write 10 books be 50 units. Therefore, Rani does 50 units in 25 days, which is 2 units per day. Veena does 50 units in 20 days. Sorry, this should be 100, not 50 LCM. Even 50 will work, but I'm trying to avoid decimals. 100 in 25 days, so 4 units per day. Veena does 100 in 20 days, therefore 5 units per day. When we look at Lakshmi, when we have to find for Veena, when we look at Rani plus Lakshmi plus Veena, they are doing 100 units in 10 days, therefore 10 units per day. Therefore, the number of units that Veena does in a day will be 10 minus 5 minus 4, which is 1 unit per day. So out of a total of 10 units per day, Veena does 1 unit per day. So her share will be 1/10 of the money, which will be rupees 600. That becomes the answer. Either ways, not more than 1.5 odd minutes to solve the question. When working alone, A, B, and C can complete a piece of work in 8, 12, and 30 days respectively at the most. Only 2 people can work on each day. Nobody works for more than 2 consecutive days. What is the minimum number of days that they will take to finish the work? Minimum number of days. When working alone, A, B, C. Let the work be 8 into 15, 120 units. Therefore, A does 120 by 8, 15 units per day. B does 120 by 12, 10 units per day. C does 120 by 30, 4 units per day. Only 2 people are supposed to work, and and nobody works for more than 2 consecutive days. So we can say day 1 A and B work, day 2 A and C work, day 3 C and B work, and then we can repeat this process. 25, 19, 14. So on the first day, 25 units of work gets done. On the second day, 19 units of work gets done. On the third day, 14 units of work gets done. Only 2 people can work on here. Nobody works for more than 2 consecutive days. So this is 3 days. This will give us 30, 33, 25, 58, 45, 55, 58 units of work. If we repeat this process, AB, AC, CB, we will get another 58 units of work. This is 116. And then we can have AB coming in. AB can do 25 units of work together, but only 4 units is left. Therefore, 4 by 25th of the day will be required. So number of days required will be 6 upon 6, 4 by 25. Overall, in terms of level of difficulty, I'd say moderate level of difficulty. About 2 minutes to solve the question. The idea is to arrange them properly and from there get the answer. Tap can fill an empty drum in 60 minutes. 20 minutes after the tap is opened, a hole is made at the bottom of the drum to drain the water. The drum is filled after a further period of 120 minutes. In how many minutes can the hole alone empty the drum? Let the drum have a capacity of 180 liters. Therefore, the tap fills 180 liters in 60 minutes. So fills 3 liters per minute. In 20 minutes, the tap would have filled 3 liters per minute for 60 liters. So the drum left to be filled will be 180 minus 60, that is 120 liters. Now for this 120 liters, we see that the time taken is 120 liters filled in 120 minutes. That means 1 liter per minute is being filled because of the tap plus the leak. Hole at the bottom of the tank, the efficiency that is being achieved is 1 liter per minute. But we know that the tap fills 3 liters. Therefore, from here we see that the hole will empty 1 minus 3. That is 2 liters per minute. That is the efficiency of the hole. In how many minutes can the hole alone empty the entire drum of water? The entire drum of water is 180 liters. The hole empties 2 liters per minute. So if it had to, it can empty the entire drum in 90 minutes and that becomes the answer. In terms of level of difficulty, I'd say easy to moderate sort of a question. You definitely would have done similar questions earlier. Two concepts coming together to some extent, but still a question that should be answered in about 2.5 minutes. A hostel has food stock for 60 days for a certain number of students. After 15 days, 500 more students joined the hostel, due to which the food lasts just 40 days more. How many students were there in the hostel initially? A hostel has food stock for 60 days. 60 days, suppose n students. After 15 days, the food for 15 days would have been consumed, and therefore food left will be good for 60 minus 15, 45 days for n students. But instead, what happened was 500 more students joined the hostel. So the number of students becomes n plus 500, and therefore the food lasts for 40 days. We know that the total amount of food is 45 into n students consuming for 45 days, or 40 into n plus 500. 40 students consuming for uh, or n plus 500 students consuming for 40 days. From here we can find n. Divide by 5. 9 5s are 45, 8 5s are 40, n plus 500. So 9n is equal to 8n plus 4000. So n is equal to 4000. Uh, how many students were there in the hostel initially? There were 4,000 students in the hostel. Initially, for them, the food available was for 60 days. They consumed the food for 15 days, were left with 45 days worth of food, which was now consumed by 4,500 people, so it lasted only 40 days. Again, in terms of level of difficulty, I'd say easy question, just one formula. And this happens also while practicing, you would have come across similar questions, so definitely doable in about 1.5 minutes. Water flowing at a speed of 10 meters per second through a cylindrical pipe of length 20 meters. Length of the pipe should not matter, just the cross section, cylinder. Just the cross section of the pipe, the length will be because of water. Diameter 6 centimeter can fill the tank of volume V in 12 hours, in 2 hours. The volume of the tank that can be completely filled by water flowing at a speed of 20 meters per second through a cylindrical pipe of length 40 and radius 4 in 1 hour. We can say the volume filled is the volume of water that comes out of the pipe. This will be area of cross section, which is pi r square, into height of the pipe. So pi radius is diameter is 6, so radius will be 3 square. What will be the height? Water is flowing at 10 meters per second. Every 10 meters of water flows every second, and this happens for 2 hours. So 10 meters per second into 2 into 60 into 60. 2 hours, 2 into 160 minutes, 2 into 60 into 60 seconds. These many seconds, meters per second. So when you multiply, we get the height in meters. Therefore, this becomes the value of V. The volume of the tank that can be filled by water flowing at a speed. Now we find the new volume V dash. This is the volume of tank that can be filled by water flowing at 20 meters per second, radius 4. So pi, the radius is 4. Here the diameter was 6. Pi into 4 square into now water is 20 meters per second and it is doing for 1 hour. 1 into 60 into 60. What we can do is we can simply divide the two. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. So V upon V dash, V is the variable given in the question, V dash is the value that we find out. Pi into 9 into 10 into 2 into 60 into 60. Upon pi into 16 into 20 into 1 into 60 into 60. 60, 60, 60, 60 cancel, 10 to the 20, 10 to the 20, pi and pi cancel. And therefore, V is equal to, or V upon V dash is equal to 9 by 16, which means V dash is equal to 16V by 9. What is the volume that can be filled in the with the new given parameters? 16V by 9, or option A becomes the answer. Again, I'd say a moderate level of difficulty question, because the length of the cylinder pipe length is an information that is given which does not really have any role to play. That might be a little confusing. Otherwise, not a very difficult question, about 2 minutes. And therefore, if we look at the overall test, as I said initially, easy to moderate paper. 7 questions can be solved, 18 to 21 minutes to solve. Which are the 7 questions that we're looking at? For me, it will be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Which are these questions? Definitely doing this, the basic idea of work starts from here. Could have left this. Understanding this question might take be a little challenging. Would have done this because the numbers are easy, and the only catch here is that the emptying pipe starts when the water reaches its level. I thought this was an easy question, just comparison. This was a very basic question. Again, have done questions like this earlier, so would have done this. This could be confusing because there are 2, 3 constraints, not more than 2 people, not working more than 2 days, minimum time. So that therefore I'm saying might be a little confusing. Would have done this because I've done similar questions earlier. This was again just one equation, so definitely doable. Here again, there was some extra information because of the length of the pipe. Could be confusing, diameter, radius. Not necessarily getting it right every single time. You might have left it. So for me, the 7 questions will be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 in this test.